I've seen a lot of comments about this too, but the thing is, I'm not trying to shame or like bash or make fun of anybody who does take their kid to daycare. I'm just saying like it should kind of be like a last resort, cuz me personally, I'm probably going to have to end up like if I have kids, I'm probably gonna have to take them to daycare, right? Because in a perfect world, I would be, a stay at home mom, and like, my husband would make all the money, and then I could just stay home with the kids, right? Until they go to public school. But realistically, I know it's obvious that a lot of parents can't do that because this day is like everybody got to work, husband and wife, or there's single mothers out there, single fathers, blah blah blah, right? So I'm just saying that daycare should be the last resort. Like, I would rather, even if I have like one relative, I would rather ask them, or I would try and hire like a cheap nanny, or like a nanny that costs the same as a daycare, because y'all are saying that nannies are expensive, but in reality, these damn daycares are expensive, right? Because the one I used to work at was like $2,000 a kid per month or whatever, and that basically includes like, that doesn't even include anything actually. Like, you have to pay extra for like the camera access, you have to pay extra for the lunches, you got to pay extra for your kids to join like the soccer or dance class that they offered, right? So technically it's probably close to like 2,500 if you want to like do all that extra stuff, right? But other daycares, if you have military benefits or like some other random stuff like that, government stuff, some of these daycares are only like $500 a month, maybe even less, depending on like what thing you're in or whatever. So no, I wasn't really trying to shame anybody. I'm just saying like it should just be a last resort. Like, I would rather ask all of my family members or look at nanny options, and then finally I would be like, okay, might as well send them to a daycare. But even still, I'm gonna try and get like a work from home job. I'm gonna try and like marry rich, who the fuck knows, right? But you never know what situation you're gonna end up in. But a lot of parents also don't really care about where their kids goes, right? A lot of parents are basically looking for free, not free, but like just childcare in general. They don't necessarily care like if their kid is learning, if they're eating healthy, if they're taking naps during nap time, if they're getting along with the kids. They literally drop off their kid. Like, I've seen so many parents, they literally like push their kid through the door, and then they run away hella fast because they're trying to go to work. They don't care. They don't even care about saying bye to their kid or nothing, right? And they don't even ask about their kid's day. They don't ask if they ate anything or if they got in trouble. They don't even ask questions. They pick up the kid and leave. And it just seems so bad. And I wonder like how they are at home, because at home they probably like after daycare they probably give them a bath, shove some food in their mouth, and put the kid to sleep. Right? These parents are not really spending time with their kids, right? But then I have the complete opposite, to where I was talking to parents in the morning for like a full 20 minutes about their kids, and then like when they got picked up, I was also there too, right? So I would talk to their kids and the parents at the end of the day too, right? So the parents were asking like, oh, how's their day, did they nap today, how much food did they eat, and like, sure, some of those questions are annoying, but I would rather have a parent overly care than like not care at all. Like, you can tell which parents actually care, right? And then I would talk to parents about like, the kids behavior, and then you have the parents who actually want their kids behavior to get better. They want their kids to learn, so they would ask if there's any like take home worksheets they can do, or like what can they do at home. Like, we'll literally do anything. What can we do at home, right? Because like, teachers can do all they can do at school if your kid is bad as fuck, right? But if you go home and you don't discipline your kid, you don't teach them right from wrong, and like you don't help them learn or whatever, they're not going to get better, realistically. Okay? Even though the teacher spends literally 12 hours with your kid, right? 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? Depending on the daycare. But like, you can definitely tell which of these parents care. Um but yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously people gotta send their kids to daycare. That's why daycares will literally always be in business. Literally the best thing you could do is probably open up your own daycare. And I would do that, but then it's like, I don't know, I'm just not trying to be one of those places to where my future employees are making a video exactly like this. You could think that you're the best daycare in the world, but your employees and even some parents are gonna say differently. Or you're gonna hire somebody, they could pass the background check, they could do great in the interview, but next thing you know, they're the bad apple that everybody's complaining about, making your business look bad. So it's like, I don't know, you can't really judge the daycare, like the look of it. It could look amazing, it could be terrible, it could look terrible, it could be amazing. You never know.